What's up, everyone? Drew, aka Catching Rockets here. I hope y'all had a good day. It's pretty nautical. Um, as far as my day, where is it? I trade NQ. Well, it's kind of hard to even see on 5 minutes, but where are we? Right at the open. It's sold off. Let me hide this really quick. This is our opening candle here. We sold off. I don't know if you guys can see this, but sold off. I called long, and I don't remember exactly where I closed, but it might not look like a ton, but this here on NQ, 70 points. And then after this happened, I started calling short. And I was just basically bearish all day. I did notice on, what was it, ES? It looked like they were going to do the 80% rule, and then they failed, I believe. So, where was it? So right here, we broke back through previous day value area low, came back, retested. I mean, we got a decent move up, 20 points on ES, which is pretty massive. That's like $1,000 per contract. But then we ended up rejecting, coming back down, breaking through it, selling off more. So yeah, I was wrong about the 80% rule. But it is what it is. That works 80% of the time and doesn't work 20% of the time. Let's see. Alright, so let's just chart up SPY really quick. I don't remember if I called anything out live in the Discord today. Actually, I know I did, because me and Gator were kind of like echoing each other, I guess. And then we went into the voice chat, and we were calling stuff out there. Yeah. Alright, so where are we? Oh, excuse me. There we go. I'm going to be very happy to get rid of this line. That might sound weird, but it's just annoying for me having two levels on top of each other like that. That's all that we cleaned up today. Alright, so let's start with our session volume profile. This is probably going to be a fairly short video, so if you guys have questions, make sure you start asking. And I'm not trying to glance over this. None of these paid, or none of them would have worked. But I'm pretty sure you guys knew not to try to catch this falling knife. Hopefully. Oh, I guess I should add, just for the humor of it, I was done trading in 30 seconds today. I called out long, like literally, like I showed you guys right at the open, and I was out within 30 seconds. And that was my day. It's going to be a poor low. Actually, I should probably do this differently for you guys. 610, 603. Oh, and I should add, I don't have any option setups for tomorrow. Unfortunately, actually, like, today was kind of what's it called? It's a D-shaped profile. It's a regular day, a typical day. But I guess it just started with a big sell-off, so it seemed like it was going to be a trend day. But normally on typical days, I'll find some nice setups for options. But today there was just nothing based on, my requirements for option setups. All right, let's take a look at our daily candles. So volume was actually decent today. Decent selling volume. So this is the range that we've kind of been stuck in on SPY. Oh, I don't like that. Something like this. And over here we've tried to like peek out of it twice. I would be surprised if we lose this, but if we do, I would expect a bounce at the weekly second sig and go back inside. But that's just my opinion. So for tomorrow, I'll be watching for calls here. And I'll do my best to call stuff out live. I think we're due to do like a live stream on YouTube. Maybe I'll do that. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Actually, Keenan goes live, so I'll let him do his thing. Maybe we'll go live like Wednesday or something. So typically, when we have a large single print range like this, they really like to kind of reject or bounce at the single print mid. So if we come up to the mid, I would be like really watching closely for puts. If we open down here, we want them to clean up this poor low, go lower, and then this is where you'd be watching for calls at the weekly second sig. Should be a pretty big level. So, unless they give us some crazy aggressivity like they did today. Let's quickly take a look at our news for tomorrow. I think actually, like, we already looked at the whole week, and there's just not a whole lot of anything. 10 a.m. tomorrow, consumer confidence, Richmond Manufacturing Index. Those two things will affect SPY. After hours for futures traders, the CPI for Australia year over year will be a big one. Oh, and I guess I didn't really see this either. Well, this is 30 minutes before the market opens. This will affect the market a little bit as well. I mean, technically, any of these things can affect the market in a big way, but, you know, the yellow is the least impact, orange is like mid-range impact, and red is like large expected impact on the market. But they literally can affect, all of them could, you know, randomly affect the market like crazy. What's up, Lisa? Nice. I'm glad that it helped you. Yeah, and you're welcome, of course. Always happy to try to help you guys and teach you guys. What's up, Triple G? What's up, Bun Me? Well, so today we didn't have a trend day. I wish you had asked me that before I erased everything. Actually, let's do this. Let's go here. Let's go to 30 minutes. Let's go here and let's grab all of this stuff. If you don't know how to do this, just an FYI, you hold down the control key and then just click whatever it is that you're trying to copy. And then you can right click and copy. And then when you go over to your other chart, and basically this is just a different profile. So like you can have different profiles with different charts. So this chart here is an empty SPY chart because this is on the profile that I use for futures. And then I can right click here and click paste, and it's going to put all of my levels in that I just selected. And what we're going to do is go to 30 minutes, turn on our session volume profile, and I will show you exactly how I would have traded today if I was trading SPY. And when I do this honestly, meaning that I don't say like, I don't look at the candles and be like, oh, that would have worked out, so I would have been in puts here and I would have been calls here. You know, like, regardless of if the play worked out or not, I'll honestly tell you, like, where I would have taken calls, where I would have taken puts. And if I'm wrong, it doesn't matter, because that's what trading is. We're playing probabilities, so the setups don't always work out. But when our setup presents to us, we want to take the trade. Okay. So without erasing too much, I guess, all I did was I moved my previous day levels back to Friday for trading today. And so from here, I would go to the 5-minute chart, and I already can see the first trade I would have taken. And I took it, or I called it out on ES as well. So here I'm just being honest, because like this would kind of break one of my rules. This is difficult here because I don't know, like, again, when I told you guys I'm going to look over it and be as honest as possible, I don't know that I would have known to short SPY here, if that makes sense. Because like on ES, I'm watching it live, and ES and NQ are basically the same. So like if we look at them side by side for today, wherever the hell it is. I think this I'm on 1 minute, so it's like, oh no, I went back to 5 minute. This is Friday. What did I just move? Okay, sorry, here's Sunday. Here we go, right here somewhere. Yeah, so here's the opening candle on NQ and the opening candle on ES. And on that, I was watching my footprint charts. And with that said, like, what am I looking for here? Initial balance. There we go. I called the long, which I talked to you guys about at the beginning. When we were up around the top, I called out short. And as you can see, like, NQ and ES are the same, basically, other than the points that they move, but they tend to kind of move together. And so I think I probably would have grabbed puts up here. And I'm trying to be as honest as possible, so I'm saying I think, because I'm not positive. If I had footprints open for ES trading SPY, I would have definitely been in puts. But if I was trading strictly off of my SPY chart, I don't know whether or not I would be in puts here. So this is me just trying to be like as completely honest as possible about setups that I would take. Okay? This is like just so easy. Where is it? 5 minutes. Oh, I'm on the wrong chart. Duh. Why is that so different? Oh, shoot. Sorry, I gotta figure this out. Let me fix this really quick, because I moved 2 levels when I didn't mean to. So, let's see. Sorry, let me just fix this chart really quick, because this is going to be my weekly first sig. Right here. Okay. All right, so now that's fixed. So right now I'm just trying to see if I would have been interested in any of this here. And I don't think I would have. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but like maybe if I draw a line for you here, let's make this a solid line. So support. I would have hoped for it to act as support here, but it kind of did, I guess. We broke through and then bought right back up really quickly. When we did this, I might have grabbed calls. Again, it's very difficult to say when it's not in the moment. But this is a setup that I talk about a lot. Like if we lose a level, right, and then immediately come back inside, I'll generally hop in calls or longs or whatever. If we do the inverse where we go peek through, peek above a level and then immediately fall back inside, I would grab puts or shorts. Again, just trying to be as honest as possible. I don't know that I would have been in calls here. there is definitely one trade where I can say 100% no question I would have been in a trade, and that's the main one that I want to cover with you guys. But like live in the moment, there's a chance I might have taken calls here. So again, I'm just trying to like be as honest with you guys as possible, like to show you what I would be looking at when I'm trading. So then same thing here, just above. This is support. It got broken here really briefly, but it's still acting as support. And then we come over to here. It definitely acted as support there, right? So another potential call area. Again, I really don't know if I would have taken it. I might have already been in. Very questionable. Don't know. I couldn't give you guys a definitive answer. Patient, one trade a day, Drew. The trade I definitely would have taken, which is the one that, like if you're learning, if you're beginning, this is the trade you should have been interested in. There's a lot of things to this that should have made you interested in it. So let's see. So basically, I think you can go all the way back to at least here on 5 minutes. I'm wondering if it's more. So support, right? And this is what we talk about with like Trader Dale's videos. Where are we? Support, kind of acted like support here and got broken, right? We were looking for 3 5-minute candles below. This retest, 100%, no question asked, is your short entry. And when you look at stuff like this, so this will be like a pretty good teaching moment here, because this is a beautiful setup for puts. It would be awesome if you guys could actually speak. Maybe, I don't know if Peak or Sif would know the answer, or if they would be, Sith would probably be willing to speak if he knows the answer. But so here, this is, at this moment, is a strong low, right? And hopefully you guys know like the rule on a strong low. Basically, when we get these, the next time price comes down close to there, we'll actually like generally not make it all the way to it. So if you're in if you're in a trade, coming up to a strong low like this, you know that you want to close the trade before, like, that it's not basically going to come down and make like an equal low. Hopefully that makes sense, right? So then from there you kind of have to figure out like where you want to close it. And for me, like just me as a trader, I'd probably be looking like at the wick here on this candle as an area to close, or maybe even the bodies here.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, go for it, Sith. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what I'd say. I mean, yeah. Excuse me. Your likelihood of always making it back to where it was before is not likely as much. So therefore, and plus, me personally, that I've learned a lot is you got to be realistic about what you're shooting for and aiming for. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you can plan it out, doing that tool for looking for a 2-to-1 trade, on top of looking at what it did before in the body of the candle. I mean, at least aiming towards both bodies of the candle where it low, right there where you was pointing it. That's definitely would at least be a solid target to shoot for. And then anything extra after that, just you could consider icing on the cake if you can trail it and follow it then.
Yeah, and like this here is probably like a good level, maybe a little bit higher for like your stop loss, above the previous day POC, to where if they're trying to stop people out, and they come up higher, they'll probably come to right around here or something, and then they'll go and make the move, right? So you don't want your stop loss to be right at the POC. You want to be able to make it a little bit higher. And in this case, we're basically getting $2.50 for every dollar that we risk. And so me and Sith are exactly on the same page, right? And then basically just to like put things into perspective, Sith joined Shorty's Discord, I would say probably like 2 or 3 years ago. Sound about right?
Yeah, it's been at least two, probably pushing three. I
Yeah.
mean, it's of course, it's not like a lot of these guys. Like it's a lot of learning and time. Because you come back and I look back and think it's like, man, has it really been that long? But it takes a long time to really start learning this stuff.
Well, and also you were an absolute hot mess when you started. And I don't say that with any disrespect. I think you know that I have love for you, and I enjoy talking to you, and I appreciate you, and so hopefully
Oh,
but
likewise.
I'm just being real. Like when you joined, you were a hot mess.
And sometimes I can still be a hot mess, but we're human.
Yeah. No, but you've come a long way, right? And so this is your first trade setup, and it worked out. Awesome, great, killer. Hopefully, you guys are understanding with the strong low here. And again, like when we look at this, this is the information that we had when we took that trade, right? So we don't have any information after that. When you have the information after that on your screen, it tends to make things a little bit easier to look at, but we're not going off of anything crazy. Like our stop loss is kind of actually, like looking at it more closely, I would probably want my stop loss to be right here at the top of the bodies of these candles. So just a smidge higher. And then our profit target is basically the bottom body of these candles. If you wanted to be aggressive with this, I would say target, the wick of this candle here, right? So basically, if you sent me a screenshot of this setup and said, hey, do you think this is a good trade? I would say yes. If you sent me a screenshot of this trade and asked me if I thought it was a good setup, I would say yes. So like neither one is wrong. It's just like how aggressive do you want to be, right? Like do you want to err on the safer side where you're probably going to hit your profit target, or do you want to shoot for a bigger risk to reward? And possibly miss your profit target. And so basically, again, the really key thing here is to look to the left, recognize that we have a strong low, and that price is probably not going to come all the way back down to there. So if you're in puts, you want to close before we get down here. Okay? And then if we play this forward, there it hit your profit target. Again, if you were shooting for the lower range of the two, and basically you would have been in this trade for 35 minutes. Okay. The next setup that I see is definitely not as clean, and you guys could definitely argue that you shouldn't take the trade, and I would 100% agree with you. But I'm being honest about trades that I would take, right? And so when we talk about trades, I always tell you guys, like, you kind of want to see a quick, clean break of the whatever level it is that you're watching. Oh, actually, let me delete this. Because even though we looked to the left and found that this was like a pretty significant support resistance level, even back here, it's already a level that we have for our previous day value area low, right? And our weekly first sig. And so when we broke above, what I was saying when I was just talking on this, you really want to see a clean break and not come back above. But what I liked about the fact that we wicked through and then came back above is that once we did lose it, we lost it like pretty significantly. And there was no candles wicking back above. We spent more than 15 minutes below, and then we got a nice clean retest, right? So now we're thinking the exact same thing when we broke this, our previous day value area low. Now we want to see 3 5-minute candles above, retest, grab calls, right? I'm trying to think where I'd want to target. Oh, I need to delete this line because that's not a level. So with the information I have right now, I would probably look to close around here. Yeah, and I still like that. After I get more candles, depending on how high they go or whatever, if I have a poor high or a strong high, that might change. So I'm just telling you guys like my thought process as this is happening. Hey, what's up, Oliver? What's up, Nathan? How you doing? What's up, David Ryan? What's up, Chef? What's up, Gigi? I don't know if I said hi to everybody. What's up, Brian? Yeah, I think I made it down to Bum Me, and then I went off on a sidetrack here on saying hi to everybody. But so, again, this is just me breaking down what I'm seeing as it's happening, or I'm, playing it forward without knowing what's happening afterwards. So at this moment right now, if we retested, I would probably be targeting 691 on SPY, depending on what these next candles do. So this is the part where if you guys said that was a terrible entry, I'd be like, okay, cool. Yeah. And the reason I'm saying that is if, we're looking for 3 5-minute candles above, and our third 5-minute candle basically retested our level, right? If we go like to 1 minute here, so you can see like we retested it and then hit it again and hit it again. So when that fourth 5-minute candle started, me as a trader would be in calls here. Me as a mentor would tell you don't take that. Very hypocritical, I'm sorry. But for me, like, this is good enough where we spent 10 minutes above, retested on the 15th minute, and then retested again on the start of the 20th minute or whatever, 16th minute, depending on how you want to look at it, right? And so again, I'm just trying to be as raw and as honest as possible with you guys. And I think what I would probably do on this trade, just because I don't like that we have like the previous day POC right above this, and then this is kind of a strong high, which is kind of sketching me out. So I might even just be like, close here. And now I don't even know if I could technically take the trade. But I'm also thinking what I could do is, once we get to here, and again, this would have to be planned, right? So when I say all of what I'm about to say, if this is the trade that I'm looking at, my initial profit target, I might not have taken this trade. So just being as honest as possible here. I might have tried this and just, like, I'm getting 2-to-1 here. And basically, once we made it to this 660 level, I probably would have brought my take profit level up to here and moved my stop loss up to my previous day POC.
One thing I'd like, sorry, I don't mean to cut in, but one thing I'd like to say, and even for everybody that I would assume that's listening on YouTube, is to understand that what you're doing right now is super hard because you're taking a lot of other you're not counting in a lot of other factors like that I really love and that y'all teach a lot of is basic, simple volume profile. Mm-hmm. And also, like you said, yes, you can do SPY, SPX, and it's pretty much going to follow ES. The only difference is that, yeah, your numbers, your levels are pretty much going to be about the same, the way it reacts, what it does. But, yeah, your numbers of obviously where, 600, like whatever that would translate to, you kind of got to compare, like, okay, this level might be 600 on SPY. What would that look like at that position on ES? because, as you know, we love to chart ES. And when you got a lot of other information looking at like ES or NQ, you can kind of get a feeling of then obviously what SPY is also going to do at those same exact areas.
So you can also just put the indicator on your chart that converts ES levels to SPY. So if you're looking
so
at my screen right now, see all the SPY levels?
You might have to shoot me that indicator.
Oh, just search for SPY SPX ES.
Okay.
Under your indicators. So SPY SPX ES. And it's this guy, PT Gambler. And that'll give you the levels. Okay. But so, whoops, I went back to the wrong chart. So here, I would probably take this and just know, like, my stop loss is probably a lot tighter than I would really like. But again, as soon as we hit this 660 level, I probably bring my stop loss up to the previous day POC. And again, I always talk about not trailing your stop loss unless it's part of your plan before you take the trade, right? Like if you plan this out beforehand and it's all part of your plan, to where here I'm still, within my 1 risk 2 reward on my initial trade. If it goes against me, I get stopped out. It is what it is. If it works out and goes up and hits my profit target, then I'm moving my profit target higher, and I'm going to trail my stop loss to here. Okay? We'll just play it out as if this is my my trade. And if it does come up to here, I'll just move the stop loss up to here, and we'll see if I would have got stopped out or if it would have ended up hitting my final profit target, right? So let's just see what happens. Actually, I need to move this left because that was my entry right there. And so here at this point, wait. Yeah, so I would have got stopped out. So right here, we hit the 660 level and then came down, and the very next candle came down and hit this here. So, but it's still 1 risk 2 reward on the trade, and if I didn't trail like a dumbass, we would have hit my profit target. So yeah, yell at me, Oliver, because I shouldn't be trailing my fucking stop loss. So just more information for you guys, or more reason to not trail your stop loss. This was a beautiful trade. Like, we were never really red even on this trade. Like, it tapped our level and went. Same thing here. If you're patient, you wait for these 3 5-minute candles below retest puts, 3 5-minute candles above retest calls. You get clean entries for the most part. Sometimes it's going to not work out in your favor, but that's just playing probabilities, and that's trading, right? But I think you guys would have to answer this for yourself. This was our target. This was our entry. So it's 2 points, 2.37, or a $2.37 move on SPY. Would you guys be happy with a nice clean trade, short on SPY that played out in 30 minutes that got you 2 points and 37 cents? Or up here, would you be happy with a kind of choppy trade, but whatever, that gave you $2.24 move on SPY over the course of an hour and 5 minutes? I think for most people, if they're being honest with themselves, they would be happy with either one of those trades, especially since you were never really like red on the trade. Both were really clean on the entries, and both were really clean on the take profit levels. And so, like, we're not doing anything crazy. Like, this is what we teach. And if you guys are paying attention, and if you're patient, a lot of people basically have too much noise when they're trading is one thing. So like if you're in discords and you have people, oh, I'm short here, I'm long here, oh, look at PTLR, look at Apple, look at Tesla, oh my gosh, Amazon rocketed, such and such is dumping, blah blah blah, and you're just all over the place, and you're not focusing on whatever, like if your plan is to trade SPY and you have setups, right, or you're waiting to see a level get broken, for me as a trader, the second this breaks, I start planning my trade. I'm like, oh, okay. If we come back up and retest this, I can put my stop loss around here, take profit right around here, blah, 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 blah. For me, like, what I just drew wasn't what I drew the first time. It was something more like this, I think. Yeah, 2.34 to 1. But to be honest with you guys, I would take this trade. It's 1 to 1.97. Like, we're so close to 2 to 1. Like, I would still take it. But so the second I see this level get lost, I'm immediately thinking retest, I'm grabbing short, or I'm going to be in puts. And I'm immediately like, where do I want to put my stop loss? And I start looking to the left, like whatever, candles, wicks or whatever, or the bodies of the candles, like either one of those would be good, as long as my stop loss can be above this previous day POC, because a lot of times, market makers are aware of this level. They'll come up, grab the liquidity, and then dump, right? So as long as I can get $2 for that $1 risk with my stop loss above this previous day POC, and then I look to the left and I'm like, oh yeah, the bodies of the candles would be a good place to put a stop loss, or even the wicks of the candles. I just figure out which one I think I would feel more comfortable with as far as being in the trade. And in this instance, I'd probably be good, like right around here. Because again, as long as I've got a little bit of room between the POC and my stop, I'm good. And then, so as soon as they come up and give me this retest, I've already planned out my trade. I already know my levels. I already know where I want to enter. I already know where I want to exit. I already know where I want to be stopped out, right? And I have 15 minutes to plan that. And this is what being a trader is. You wait patiently for them to give you the setup that you're looking for, and then you take the trade. So like on this day, if you're patient, like this whole time sucks, right? Because you're like, shit, it's just dumping. There's no entry. And, it is what it is. Like, a lot of people will FOMO or YOLO into puts. And unfortunately, a lot of people will FOMO or YOLO into puts, like somewhere down around here. Like, they'll finally get so sick, like, they'll be like, oh, we'll probably bounce at the POC. Oh, we'll probably bounce at the previous day value area low or whatever. We'll probably bounce at the November POC. And then when that doesn't happen, they're like, fuck it. Like, I'm going to follow suit and hop in shorts here or get into puts. And then it does bounce, right? I'm sure that's happened to every single person that's listening. Don't FOMO. Be patient. Wait for a setup. If they don't give you a setup, don't trade. Like, Oliver has been working with me. He knows, like, there's been plenty of days where he was like, dude, got on in the morning, whatever, waited for an hour or so. I didn't see a setup. I had to go, do something. So I called it a day and left. I didn't take a trade. That's a trader. That's how you trade. You wait for your setup. If they don't give you a setup, you don't take a trade. You don't try to force things. When you force things, I'm sure you guys know, like, every once in a while it might work out in your favor, but most of the time you're going to get clapped, right? So, yeah, this whole time here sucks. For the person that's being patient, waiting for a nice, clean, good setup, this whole dump sucks. Unless, like, you're looking at footprints and you noticed, I I think up here at the top, I got double zeros on NQ, and it was like such an easy short, if I remember correctly. But without that information, it might be hard to know to short there. But so if you don't have that information, this whole thing sucks. Once you see them break, or, so we got our retest here, right? But when this happened here, when we lost, actually, sorry, let me delete this. When we lost the previous day POC here, like, if you're doing things correctly, you should be like, oh, cool. Okay, if we come back up to there, if we retest it, I can put my stop loss there. And then based on the information we have, again, we look for our take profit level. You could target, if you're trying to be safe, like the November POC, or you can target, the bodies of the candles like we did on the last trade. But they never gave us a retest of our previous day POC, right? So once that doesn't happen, you go, oh crap, like, we'll leave this on the back burner just in case. But since they didn't give that to us, when we see the previous day value area low get broken and the weekly first sig, now we're waiting for a retest here, and now we start planning out our next trade, right? So, the same thing that we've already covered 6 times now. I'm not going to explain my entries and exits again, because we've already talked about all of that stuff. But, as long as I can take this trade, 1 risk, 2 reward, whatever, I'm good, blah, 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 right? And so the first break of the level wouldn't have worked out, the POC. We couldn't have taken it because we never got a retest. No worries. Then we broke through the previous day value area low. Again, we start planning our next trade. We have 15 minutes or more to figure it out. And when they give us that retest, boom, we pull the trigger, you click the button, and then you let your levels play out. And then if you're doing more than 1 trade a day, which if you haven't finished 1 trade a day for 6 months, you should not be doing more than 1 trade a day. But if you are doing more than 1 trade a day, here, when we broke through here, you can start planning like, oh, hey, if we retest it, I'll be in calls. They didn't do that. So then when we broke through here, you start planning, if they retest this, I'll be in calls. But then here we broke through the previous day VPOC, so same thing. If they give us 3 5-minute candles above, retest, I'll be in calls. And you just basically start planning each trade, as they're going through your levels, and then figure out which one, like whichever one they retest is the one that you're taking. Right? So hopefully that helps you out. Bun me. But those are the 2 trades. Again, being the patient, disciplined trader, these are the 2 trades I would have taken today. Whether or not they worked out is irrelevant, but these are the 2 entries I would have been looking at. And then I told you guys, like, there's a chance that I might have been in calls here, but again, I don't. It's very hard to say if that's a fact or not, unless it's happening live. And there's a chance that I would have been in puts here. Again, very hard to say unless it's happening live. But these 2 here, no questions asked, I would have taken those trades. Okay. So hopefully that helps. And really what we're talking about, I'll pull it up on the screen again. We do this pretty often. Hopefully you guys are reading it or rereading it. If you haven't read it, you're going to read it. If you had read it and it's not clicking, you're going to reread it and go to page 25. I mean, obviously read the whole thing, but this is what we're talking about. Strategy 1, support becoming resistance and vice versa. And it literally is telling you, wait for them to break your level, support, break, retest, short. Is that what we did? So here, support, break, retest, short, right? This is broken, resistance, broken through, retest, long. And again, we can also go further left. We already did this. Back to somewhere back here. I don't remember exactly where, but this was support. They broke through it, came back, it acted as support again. And then support here, support. Broke through, retest, short. Broke back above, retest, long. Okay? So it's nothing, that we haven't covered a million times. And when I say that, I'm not trying to put anybody down. Repetition is good. Talking about things over and over again is good. But that's all that we're doing, right? And then, so this is the same setup, just the inverse. The first example we looked at was break below, retest, grab your puts. The next example here is reject, break above, calls, right? And that's what we did here. Reject, we had rejections further left, but anyway, reject here, break through, retest, calls. That's it. Okay. As the candle approached the previous day val the second time from the bottom. This here? Is this what you're talking about? Would it have crossed my mind? Absolutely. So, with that said, there's a chance that I would have shorted that. So, again, we're just playing probabilities. Like, if we look at a legit example of a trade that I took, where was it? Was it here? Yeah, I think. Yes, here. So let's hit replay. Actually, sorry. Let's not do that. Let's pull up NQ on this chart where it's not split in half with a yes. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to remove all of these drawings. So we're done looking at this chart. Just FYI. If we go to NQ, this I called out live on Keenan's Discord. And basically, where was it? Where was it? The 17th, I think. Here? Yeah. No. No. I gotta find it because it was just like such a great setup. Hang on, let me find it. We'll just do it this way, I guess. This here. So yeah, this was the 17th going into the 18th. And this again is exactly what we're talking about, right? This is NQ 5-minute chart, resistance here, sold off pretty hard from it, resistance here, sold off from it, broke through here, retested. This is your entry long. I left an order here when I went to bed to grab longs. And then I was closing at 22,000 299.75, like one tick below 22.3. But now I need to find this on the actual chart to show you guys the point that I was trying to make. Why am I not seeing it? It was 22.70. This literally doesn't make sense. I don't understand what I'm looking at. Am I on the wrong chart? Oh, replay features on. Yeah, I want to turn that off. Okay, that's helpful. Dude, why are these levels just not even making sense to me?
You got regular trading hours on, I noticed.
Oh, thank you. That would make sense because it was in the evening session. Dude, you're a stud, Sith. On the 18th, 2270. Yep, here we are. Okay. So, asking about taking it over and over and over again, basically. So the level was 22,270. And then what's crazy about this? Actually, let me go back here. Sorry. So basically, you could see all the way back here, it was like acting as resistance and support. Bro. I really hate it when it won't let me get like a level like right on the dot. Like, why? Okay. And so over here, it's like resistance, resistance. We finally broke through it. Support, 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 whatever. Broke back below. Resistance, resistance. Broke through. And this is the beauty right here, is we broke through with like absolute strength. There was no retesting. It was a clean break. And as soon as I saw this happen, it was like 10:55-ish that I saw it happen. I placed an order to go long here. And if you look at the price up at the top, the low of this candle was 22,269 and 75 cents. My entry was 22,270, so I got it. Like, I was on point. I was only red on this trade for one tick for like a fraction of a second. And then it came up and hit my profit target and closed me out. My profit target was 300. And basically, when I trade NQ, I pretty much, as a minimum, always have like a 10-point stop loss. So you could have, and I wouldn't have got stopped out on any of these. You could have grabbed calls or gone long here, taken your profits and gone short, taken your profits and grabbed longs, taking your profits, gone short, taking your profits, gone long, taking your profits, gone short, and then you would have got stopped out. But after you get 5 successful trades, you don't give a shit about this. So, yes. Actually, I don't even know, what I was saying. I don't think I would have been shorting these because of this up here. I didn't draw that very well. But these candles up here would have made me like not want to be shorting down here. But definitely the calls or grabbing longs. and it would have worked out 4 times. And the 5th time that you grab calls, I would probably tell you're a psycho if you tried to grab calls 5 times in a row. I might do 3 if I'm being like realistic, but if you did do all of them, the 5th time you would have hit your stop loss, but you're still stoked, right? Like, you got 4 killer trades. And on that, you would be up, freaking trying to math in my head here, $1,600 if you took just one contract from here to 300, here to 300, here to 300. Or wait, sorry, you could have done it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. Yeah, so am I losing my... Yeah, it would have worked 3 times. Sorry. So you would have been up $1,200 if you were just taking one contract. And then you would have got stopped out for $200, so you'd be at $1,000 profit. Okay? So that's a very good example of what you guys were talking about, or what you said, like taking the trade the second time it retests the value area low. It can work, you know. So you just play your levels and do what you do. Pacheco, so what you do is you figure out all of your setups when the market's closed. I literally have like an entire Discord. Where is it? So this is called my Accountability Anonymous Discord group. And it's obviously like very select, just a few people. I mean, it's open to anybody that's in Shorty's Discord, but these are the only people that have asked to join, basically. And all of them post their plan for the next day. So everybody here is looking at the market when it's closed, figuring out what trades they want to take the next day. And if they don't get their setup, they don't take a trade. And at this point, they've been doing this for so long that some of them are absolutely killing. Like, actually, I think a lot of them are absolutely killing it. But you can see this is all everybody's plan with an explanation of what they're looking at for the next day. It makes it a lot easier to look at it when the market's closed. I'm trying to find, like, just the other day. Oh, here it is. This, the Bryce Jones short on NQ from 22,174, I'm guessing, and 50 cents down to 22,134. So he got a 40-point move, which is killer. And so literally every single day, these people post what their plan is and trade what their plan was the next day. All of them also have the ability to do this, which is, let's say something plays out that they didn't, like, let's just say they noticed as it's happening, this resistance broken, and they're like, oh shoot, like if we retest this, I want to go long. So then all they have to do is during that 15 minute of planning, they grab their long position tool, put their entry, profit target, stop loss, whatever it is, and then grab a screenshot and post it in the Discord. And now, like, if they did this, they're good to take the trade. And you have 15 minutes to do this. At a minimum, you have 15 minutes. It doesn't... And I just did it in whatever, like 5 seconds. So that's what it is. Like, you... if you're having trouble seeing it live, then plan your trades when the market's closed the night before. That's what I do, like, every day on SPY with you guys, right? And... if you're not having trouble seeing it when it's playing out live, then plan your trades when you see levels get broken and figure out where you want to enter, where you want your stop loss to be, and where you want your take profit to be. Okay? Hopefully I've answered all of the questions. I think that was a really good class. Should be informative. Wow. Just reading through the rest of the chat. Okay, cool. It looks like I've answered everybody's questions. I think I'm going to start saying this just as like a rule of thumb kind of thing. If you ask something and I didn't answer you, it's not personal. I probably just missed the message. And if that's the case, feel free to DM me or at me in the Discord or whatever, and I'll do my best to answer your question. Or if it's not something urgent, just send the same message the next time I go live, and hopefully I don't miss your message that time. If I don't answer it twice in a row, it is personal. I'm joking, because I would never do that. But yeah, just in case somebody asks something and I skip over it by mistake, it's 100% not personal. So don't take it personally. Just reach out to me or whatever, and I will get back to you. Apple hold what line? I don't even You're talking about hold the market up? I don't even know what I was drawing here. I was obviously drawing on a much higher time frame because that was a massive circle. But did I predict that? I don't know. So I don't think they're holding a line. Maybe. Like this could be an SR flip right there. But to me, they kind of needed to hold this, which they lost. I wouldn't be terribly surprised to see them back down here. But we'll see. All right. Well, the market. I don't think Apple's holding the market up. Not anymore. All right. Well, with that said, much love, everybody. Big thank you to subscribers of this stream. Extra big thanks to the friends of the stream. And if you're new, I would appreciate a follow. We basically just go over levels that we're watching for the next day on SPY. And then normally a couple times a month we do classes teaching trading. Today we did, a pretty big class focused on the entries of that SR flip that's talked about in Trader Dale's book. If you don't have this book, if you haven't read it, highly recommend getting it. If you have read it, read it again. It's great. It has some really good entries and stuff. So it's a great book to have. With that said, much love, much respect to everybody. I hope you all have a good day tomorrow. I will do my best to call things out. There's a chance I might go live tomorrow on YouTube. If not, maybe I'll do it Wednesday. And if I don't do that, then it's because I don't like you guys. All right. Much love, much respect. You guys have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.